Welcome, all my aliens, apes, and zombies. It's Crypto Novo 311. We're just going to get right into it today because we have a whole panel of friends out here that want to talk NFTs. But, I got to get into some Bitcoin real quick because it's been surging. All right. Right here's the coin market cap. It's been going up. We have our Ethereum here on our single day chart. As we can see, it's up 3.5, almost to there it is, 7%. Now we have it updated 7% on the day for our at least my favorite coin out there, Ethereum. And it's also, if you look at Bitcoin over the past day, we're up 13%, just under 13. There it is, 13.2% just about. And our CryptoPunks. All right, so we see a direct correlation when we see more Ethereum, more market volume in there, and what's happening with our CryptoPunks. And a minute ago, we just had one sell. It got bought for 24 Ethereum. We seeing a little bit more CryptoPunks coming on the market. We are just under 1,500 CryptoPunks for sale, but that floor is what you need to look at. At 21 Ethereum right there. That floor, we're going to update it right here. 21 Ethereum. If you look at the top row right there, there's 12 in a row. If all 12 of those sell, we're at 21.75 Ethereum. And the recent sales will update this, and we're continuing to sell. One sold 17 minutes ago. All right, enough of me. We're going to bring in a real good friend of the show here all the time, JRR Token, and never ceases to amaze me. A new AR filter we got going on in the house. I'm loving it. I'm digging it. You always got some cool stuff coming out, coming on. I'm going to bring in someone else here. We have an NFT collector extraordinaire right here. As you can see, he has a Deadheads NFT rare one that we're going to talk about in a couple minutes. And then, of course, GT Press. Man, you got a sweet filter here. Let me see that mouth move, man. Yeah, I'm loving it. Looking good, looking good, looking good. And then also your good friend from out there, out in the West. All right, so JRR Token, we're going to start off with you because we are going to dive right into some NFTs. Which one do you want to tackle first here?
If we're going to tackle something, all right, well, you're already on it. Let's do End of the World Pizza. It's definitely one of my favorite things right now. Have you talked to anybody or about this before? I think you did, like you mentioned it a little bit, right?
I have streamed it. I was not able to get one. You were actually able to get me one. So thank you very much. Able to sent you a little bit of Ethereum. You were free. I wasn't. You're able to pick one up. And you know what? You could have very easily have gotten one of these and kind of just put it in your wallet, and you didn't.
Yeah.
You helped me out, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course, I would always hook you up, of course, and I have one, and I'm cherishing it right now. So this is just wild. This is End of the World Pizza, which are 128 undead pizza drivers. There is a wild story. This is by an illustrator and comic creator and AR developer. Like, this guy does it all. Named Rob Shields, who's created Neon Wasteland. It was like a Kickstarter AR comic, and now he's kind of like extending this universe and experience into this really wild collection of NFTs called Undead Drivers, which is End of the World Pizza. So it's like a part of this kind of universe and story. But End of the World Pizza is the pizza place where these undead drivers come from, and the artist has been releasing these on OpenSea 10 at a time every weekend. And what are they up to? So like 40 something right now.
Right now they have 42 items out there. They have 32 owners. They come out. Their floor price is at 0.25 Ethereum, but right now the floor is at 0.75. So we're seeing some popularity in these things.
Yeah, and they're just really gorgeous, and there's already like a lot of momentum and ideas about like how this is going to blow up into some interesting places. But what they were doing this weekend, which is a little different, besides giving out these, they did not do a normal drop. They actually were giving out slices of pizza. This is the first slice of pizza, and they have different toppings. I guess this is pizza of the dead. But what this is going to be doing is actually entering people into raffles and to other experiences. So by holding and having a slice enters you into some interesting raffles that you're going to do. And I was able to snag one slice. There was some other project that launched on Saturday when this happened, and guess what? From like 10 to 298. So a lot of failed transactions on that one, as you can imagine. But ended up being able to snag one very early within 13 seconds. Quick fingers there and got one. So I'll be able to participate. Fingers crossed. I'm going to probably or hope to win a driver. Some people were able to get 2 slices, so that ups their chances. So more to come on that, but this is such cool art. If you're into like 80s, 90s anime, plus like kind of like a post-apocalyptic future. The storyline's coming out right now. It's so nuts. And AR comics and metaverse stuff, this could be for you. There's been some discussion about these actually becoming avatars for the metaverse. I know the creators like looking into that right now, which could be pretty wild as well. So hard to get, but definitely some sexy stuff. Very cool.
Here it is. 1 week ago, you graciously got one, pretty much gifted it to me. I appreciate it. I wanted to have one in there. And I was trying to get these pizzas, and I clicked away, and then I saw that transaction wheel spin and spin and spin. You and I were chatting back and forth, texting, and you got one, and I was like, oh man, I had the FOMO set. It was setting in. I was like, all right, how do I get it? Do I come in the aftermarket to try to get one of these? But I'm gonna wait because I know there's gonna be more slices coming out.
There's going to be more slices. There's going to be more slices. Got to get that delivery. But just also keep in mind, every single piece of those, every single undead driver is completely hand drawn. There's no like algorithmic build there. It is these are all like real art pieces, which is pretty wild, and that's why it's taking him time. But he's slowly trickling them out. 10 drivers a weekend. Although skip this weekend, so. It's fun. It's cool. It's a cool project for sure.
All right, we have an NFT collector in the house. I'm gonna bring him in. An NFT collector. Have you seen these pizzas before? The pizza of the dead.
Yeah, I think I saw them on the Twitters. Look pretty cool. More coming out. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's always cool seeing the new projects coming out. I was thankful to get in, I believe early, but releasing only 10 of them per week. Every weekend, it's going to spread it out a little bit, and it's going to keep the people wanting to come back to try to get seconds and thirds of this pizza. I enjoy that aspect of it and spreading it out rather than having one dump, someone buying half of them, and then they're distributing it out themselves. People who want to sit there and work for the project, and they're releasing little sub projects along the way, like these pizzas, which is almost like an access token for me, as far as I could see, because it gives you access to different raffles that they're going to have later on.
Exactly, and there's supposed to be cars coming out, so you get cars for the drivers eventually. There's a lot of things on the roadmap here, which is fun.
Roadmap. Do you want to dive into the roadmap or what?
So I came into this today, but I have been kind of keeping an eye on it, and I ended up grabbing one. So this is called the Wonder Quest, and I actually been seeing a lot of it just via hanging out in Decentraland. There's been a lot of talk about this. They just built a very interesting like cathedral space in Decentraland, and this is actually connected to a DJ named Alice in Wonderland. She's a really amazing DJ, and I would say that she has been really experimental in the metaverse, which is why I was kind of like confident in getting one of these. She's very much into the like occult, black magic, dragons, and a whole bunch of cool sci-fi stuff, I guess personally, and through her art and music and her aesthetic. But she's created this project which is basically releasing these really cool eggs, and they're dragon eggs. You will be able to keep them wrapped, or you can unwrap them, but they might even become even more rare depending on when you get these dragon eggs. And if you check out on their website, they give a pretty interesting roadmap, but there's going to be a lot of metaverse connectivity. I think the first time I actually heard about the project, it was a little FOMO because people who held a MetaKey were actually airdropped Decentraland wearables in a cloak and like a
Oh,
cloak
that's
hat.
cool.
Yeah, so if you were actually holding a MetaKey, you have this sitting in your wallet, which is kind of like connected to the project already. I did not have a MetaKey. I wish I did, but there's like a lot of cool associations here with all these different groups. So I grabbed one because that's going to unlock events. I actually really love her music. I've seen a virtual like immersive concert with her, and I would love to continue to see how I could get into cool access events, content, wearables. I feel like it's going to have a lot of additional value outside of just being a killer
And
dragon.
they got Sandbox in there. They have a couple different platforms they're trying to attack.
Yeah.
NFT Studios. I just saw something about them today. This is actually pretty cool. This is a pretty good find. So, so these eggs, all right. So just let me get this right. You can get the eggs and you hatch them. So it's a smart.
Yeah, they're still on the still mintable on the website right now. I think they're doing a curved buy though, so it might be increasing in price. But definitely check it out. And then each egg is already have rarities. The Lucky Dragon is #1 right now, it seems.
So then they will be able to hatch them like after they're all sold or something. Is that
yes?
Okay,
yeah.
I figured.
Right.
Okay, I was
or
looking
you could keep it wrapped, but I think there's going to be a rarity play with not only the egg type, but the
dragon
itself. Yeah.
Because I've seen it within NFT with NFT collectors, and an NFT collector who's actually on the show right now that we talked to just before, who has an extremely rare deadhead, and this would probably be a great transition into the deadheads right here, the deadhead NFTs. How about you explain at the NFT collector? How about you explain a little bit about yourself about becoming an NFT collector, and then the deadhead NFTs as well?
Sure. So my journey with NFTs was I saw Bored Ape. It looked cool. I just figured out how to use Ethereum and MetaMask, and I bought one. And then a few weeks later, it was worth a hell of a lot more money. And so I'm like, hey, this is fun. And I just started collecting, and I can't stop. And I just learned earlier that apparently this MetaKey gave me a sweet airdrop. Thank you. I had no idea where that came from. Very cool.
But yeah, so you did get it. You actually did get the cloaks in your wallet.
Yeah, I got it. I was like, oh, this is nifty. What's
that's
going
where
on
that's exact. So that's the project where it's from. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is pretty neat. Then the art on that third MetaKey is gorgeous, just gorgeous. So that's what drew me in. And the art in general. Big
what I find gorgeous is
show deer.
What I find gorgeous is your avatar right there that you're speaking from right there. All right. I've known about the project where it came from. I have not bought any of them as well. But when you first get into deadheads, it is something where it's randomly minted. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't get to choose what you got. And so I guess the deadhead kind of chooses you. And you've had a prime one come across your plate here. All right. Let's talk about your particular one that you own.
Yeah, I got very lucky with this since I've been following deadheads since about a month before they launched. And I'm actually Singapore based. So with the time zone, it's so hard to actually participate in drops. So I missed the deadheads drop. But since it was a delayed reveal, people were putting them on OpenSea for just a bit more than the drop price. And I picked up two. One of them happened to be this beautiful French Halo Ghost. And we're chilling. So now what I've done, we have the Ghost Gang. So everyone's got a gang. There's the Ghost Gang, the zombies, in the Deadheads Discord. And what we're doing is we're putting together a curse, is what we call it. So if you go look at the Deadheads on OpenSea and all the ghosts, you'll see the majority of them are priced at 666 Ether or 66.6. So we're getting everyone to price it up there. And then we're going to have little community within a community. So we're going to create NFT banners for our universe, potentially have in the NFT animated show that the Deadheads are going to do. We want the ghosts to be a gang. Everyone comes together. Potentially have a Bushido Apes type spin-off with ghosts and hauntings. So we're just having some fun with it and creating a community within a community in the Deadheads world.
I love it. That's great. And, it shows community there, and having those numbers, 666, the 666s, shows that bond that everyone that gets one of these is so happy to get one of these, because you see it within the Bored Ape Yacht Club, if it's, you know, the cheetah print, or if it's,
Yeah.
within whatever different attribute class it is within significance NFTs, you see these collections coming together, and that's what makes it fun, is the stake of value within the community, and that community has that collecting aspect of it. You know, the ones that can get together and say, hey, you know what, we're going to come together just because we all have a significant feature, and generally it turns into good. Generally, you have a common focus pulling on the rope in the same direction. If it's advertising your specific product or your line a little bit more, that's, you know, good. If it comes to community service and helping others and spread the word of NFT and NFT artists, that's also another huge aspect that people don't understand in the NFT space, is the camaraderie that, you know, happens every single day. So talk us a little bit about how many deadheads do you have?
I only have two, and then one of them happened to be the ghost. I struck gold with that one, so I got quite lucky. But these are gorgeous. The animated series is coming out shortly. It's the first episode. I'm surprised these don't get more hype in general. They're adorable and they're spooky at the same time. A perfect mix. So come around Halloween, if NFTs are still in the bull run, I'm sure these will take off. From a collector perspective.
That's something that you put in the back of the mind there, is, you know, the capability of these things around the Halloween time. And then, you know, I was even thinking of, you know, this one, you know, almost like a Jack Skellington type from Nightmare Before Christmas, one of my favorite movies. It is that cute, comfortable, Halloween-y, spooky, scary look, you know, not like horror scary, like spooky, you know, it's kind of fun. And I love all the different attributes that they have within there.
Yeah, it's super fun. So looking forward to what comes next.
Speaking of coming next, GT Press, what is coming next? All right. So some people watching the stream, some people actually on the stream, give us a little insight of what we've kind of been trying to establish and working on. We're kind of have almost working meetings live action when we live stream here, trying to bring what we're talking like the good camaraderie, the good natured within NFTs, trying to bring it into the mainstream light for a good purpose. And our good purpose is, take it away.
So I'm lagging a little bit, so I caught like a bit of half of that, but I do want to say that, yeah, you know, we're really excited to talk about and share NFTs in the community that it is really been amazing to be a part of. I mean, just look at all the amazing artwork that was just shown on the stream right now. I can't wait to show our brand new entry into the space. It's we're a nonprofit in Olympia, Washington, called Artist Solidarity. And we just made our first drop in celebration of this fundraiser that we're doing in collaboration with the Olympia Farmers Market. And a generous donor by the way of Earth Homes LLC, a small contracting company, natural building company in Olympia, Washington, that facilitated this amazing project that I actually found Robbie like right in the thick of it. So with that, I mean, that's the origin of the story, so I think we should start there. But also, we did just get our website live, and then made an amazing drop with a local collaboration with a brand new VR artist that just got a chance to play with an Oculus Quest for the very first time. And we're very excited to show these NFTs here on the stream. So thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Hey, anytime you hear that JR token, we're talking Oculus Quest here. I love it. Right behind,
awesome.
yes, right behind this tassel hat, these ears, they were listening loud and clear. All right, we have a good friend back again. I mean, you know, the dynamic duo right here with you guys just hammering it out. You guys sticking to the street. When I say the street, the farmers market, and I know out there it has been boiling hot in the upper Northwest. I'm saying, you know, I mean, like, you know, 3 figures for a long extended period of time. All right. GT Press, Robbie, what do we have, you know, currently going on up to date? We had the brand new website launched. You know, we have Earth Homes Design helping out with these shelters for people who are shelterless. All right, Robbie, take it away. What do we got going on?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me back on the show. Last time I had the lag and it made this trippy glitch sound from what I hear. So hopefully y'all can hear me better now.
Perfect.
Nice. Yeah. First, I just want to say the art on here is so cool. I love seeing what all these digital artists are up to. I was joking, like, yes, we're also here to talk about fantasy realm, and that's housing equality. Ooh, but so we're working. So we got this shelter, and it's basically kind of like an exhibit at the farmers market, which is pretty. I don't know about farmers markets in other places, but it's like a pretty happening place in our little corner of the world, and like I don't know how many people come through, but they're on weekends, but it is packed. So there's just a ton of people. They get to come in, poke around, bang on the walls, which are super solid, and see how people coming off the streets are living, and how it could look if we make a bunch of these things. Something I heard on a census from last year is that there's like 580,000 unsheltered people on any given night in America, and that's like I don't care how you cut, like it's an insane number. And there's all this money coming in, federal aid, but there's not like the organization. We're just like fed up with waiting for politics. We're fed up with waiting for people who are in power to make the decisions and do the right thing. So we're like, let's get artists together and like come together for people who are just down and out or maybe never had anything. And so we got this live painter. He's doing this awesome mural. I think GT's got the links for that. And we're basically doing spin-offs of his work. He's painting this.
I'm lagging a little bit too.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Cool. Yeah. So he's making this mural, and we're going to auction over the course of the next few weeks. We're going to auction it off online, and basically someone will get like symbolic ownership of this thing, and this whole 8 by 8 foot house, and it'll go to some qualifying participating location for somebody to either live in or for them to use as educational tools for people to learn about more housing rights. I mean, like, how many people do we all know or ourselves are housing vulnerable? It's something that is affecting more and more people in this day and age. And I think that's why a lot of us are drawn to NFTs and cryptos, because we're sick of bankers and we're sick of the status quo. We need to take the power back into our hands, right? Can I get some snaps? And
you're right, because what we need is we need it fast tracked. There's too much red tape. There's too much lag in it. And what we're seeing with NFTs is it's a great equalizer. It's a way of distributing, the wealth properly if it needs to be distributed properly, quicker than anyone could imagine it. And the way you could do that is simply through art. And then when people simply just do it through art, everyone wins, because you have the artists, you have the collectors, and now you have the people who need it the most, people who need 4 walls and a roof over their heads. Somewhere where they can lock something up, somewhere where they can call their own, something that they can call home. And, it's a shame that we have all this money, but the people who really need it are the ones on the outside looking in, and we need them inside warm. We need them inside to cool off. We need them inside to stay out of the weather. We need them inside for a place that they can call home, for shelter and for safety.
Word. That's it right there.
So, all right. SolidarityArt.org. The website, absolutely stunning. Amazing here. I mean, this is some cool stuff. And you know what? Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't followed this in about 2 weeks. And for where it's been since I last talked to this crew till now, I mean, props to you guys. You guys aren't messing around. I was just about to curse there because you guys aren't effing around with this. I mean, this is well put together, well thought up, and man, it's gonna find the right hands. It's gonna do a lot of good for a lot of people.
Power to the people.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. Speak up,
Where-
GT. Plus, we can barely hear you, my friend.
Check out those 2 NFTs.
All right, so one, we got this. Is this a ticket for one of the? Is this one of the tickets here? Bored Ape awakens a new timeline to find himself in the conversation of the. Oh, cool. Sorry, I'm reading it as we go. So this is all right. So it's a video. Here we go. There we go. I was not. It wasn't.
Definitely.
You know, boys, girls, aliens, apes, and zombies. That's exactly what I imagined when we were making some thought of this. Look on the outside. You have a bored ape looking right out the picture window. You know, you got NFT artists being able to put their art out there. Traditional artists being able to put their art out there. Yesterday, I had one of New York's finest graffiti artists putting up CryptoPunks all over New York City. It's the same thing. People want it. People want to see that. And you know what? If you can find a good home and a good place for something like that and having art out there rather than, you know, possibly people who are less fortunate that, you know, there's tent cities everywhere. The city I drive in, Chicago, I see it on the side of the road all over the place. Why can't we produce something like this and have it paid for by people who want the art for it? I mean, it's simple. We don't even, it's so simple. So all we need to do is keep advertising, keep putting that voice out there. GT, what do you got to say, my friend there?
Oh yeah, thanks for showing it. Yeah, you know, we're really excited to just like, what would it be like if we created a cooperative, collaborative piece based on all different types of artists? And that was what came out after talking about it with a whole group of people. I think there's like 6 artists involved in that project, all local. And it was just a really fun, collaborative narrative script writing exercise, I suppose. And then that's how it ended up visually. We were like, what if we went with this like gamified like Pokemon theme, but we like used the Ape 6060, Ape 6068 as like a base for like a theme or a story. And so we started talking about, oh, what if the Bored Ape got like lost on a he got lost on he got drunk. I'll just tell the story how it is in the NFTs. He got drunk and then he woke up in the microhome at the Olympia Farmers Market, and that was like the story that we rolled with because that's real. I mean, a lot of people really struggle out there on the streets, and there's addiction, there's drugs, there's people can tell lots of different stories about what happens on the streets, but actually living there at one point in the past myself, most people are just people, and they want safety, security, love, everything else that most other people want, and they just lack a house. So we decided to make an NFT to be like kind of fun, like, okay, what if the Bored Ape was homeless? And that's what came out. And then this project right here is our second NFT, and this was kind of like an experiment with, hey, you know what? We're not necessarily like designers ourselves. We're generally artists, this group of people. But we have a really good relationship with these amazing designers at Earth Homes who designed this little micro home for this actual use case of providing emergency transitional housing for the mitigation site downtown Olympia. And we thought like, oh, well, like how cool would it be if there was like, I don't know, like a little contest to see if like what sort of home do you think the Bored Ape wants to move into after he's in the micro home at the Olympia Farmers Market? Because like, I don't know, I can imagine him kind of like living in a jungle environment, or maybe like an Ewok village. It's kind of a fun like imaginary like exercise, right? So we are like, hey, like I asked one of our artists like, where do you so we have to make an NFT with a micro home 3D model in it, and here's an Oculus Quest 2, and what do you want to paint? And this is what they came up with. And I thought it was really beautiful to see like the Bored Ape in this like little hobbit home. Like that's super cute. And like I thought it would be really interesting too to do a little teaser with the chicken, because this person's also working with us to create an avatar collectible project that we hope to release in the next month or so, based off chickens. Kind of an inside joke, but there'll be more later with that. But anyways, I've talked a lot, and I'm just really grateful to be on the show and just share like a lot of work finally coming to fruition, where we've created these NFTs and we're trying to sell them and raise money for good causes. And it's a pretty fair distribution, you know. It's like 33, 33, 33. And
yeah, Robbie, GT, you guys have been plugging away at this. We've been doing this for, I don't know, probably 6-8 weeks now, and just to see the progression of it right now that quickly, I'm just super excited to see where it's going to go even quicker here. I mean, it's going to be coming up quick before we're talking about 3, 4, a dozen of these things, and even multiple cities. So you guys keep up the good work. I got to bring in another friend who, you probably dig this. The NFT attorney is in the house. Jacob Martin, how are you doing, my friend? All right, you've been in the green room for a little bit. I finally clicked the right button to get you in here. What have you been thinking about the show so far? I mean, we've had a couple different things. We've had some new NFTs coming out. Sorry, is there a little feedback going on? We had new NFTs coming out. We've had GT, GT and Robbie with their awesome NFT micro shelters, and your amazing story, because I know you wanted a CryptoPunk for a while now, looking around with Bored Apes, this and that. Tell us your CryptoPunk story. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Yeah, for sure. I chatted with GT Prez a while back about their project, and I think it's kind of fun at this point. I've talked to a lot of people about a lot of projects, which is super cool. I mean, there's only a few attorneys, I guess, that kind of know what's going on, but at the same time, there's really only a few who have as degenerate looking a Twitter as I do. So it's been a good time.
Jacob, you're definitely in the right space at the right time, because there's so much going on. There's so many unanswered questions, and the whole thing of it. The whole thing of it is like being at the foundation of it, knowing what's going on. It just helps everyone understand, the space. And it's an ever evolving space that we're all trying to figure out together.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that really hit me a few months ago when I decided to lean into, I guess 6 months ago, when I was like, all right, I don't see NFT attorney. I know that's not a thing. I have this like cheeky Twitter handle at the NFT attorney. Like, that's not a thing. There's no cannabis attorney. There's no NFT attorney. Like, it's just multiple practice areas on like a focus, right? So like when something is copyright and art law and above my head, I go to Megan in New York. When something is blockchain securities and it gets really deep in the weeds, I go to Yev in Colorado, right? Like, I've built out, just like Ethereum would tell you to, right? This decentralized network of experts that, if I can't handle it, I'll make sure somebody else that can handle it is in the room. And, 6 months ago, and I still feel now, people say, this is gray, this is all gray, this is all gray. And like, honestly, there aren't that many things happening right now that are gray. Fractionalization, some offshore stuff, some split royalties and taxation. There's a few things that are gray, but there's actually just a lot of black and white law that exists, just like with ICOs, where there was already old securities law. It just got reapplied to crypto. So, sometimes I feel good giving advice and saying, hey, here's the old rules. Here's how they're likely going to apply. And then every now and then you just have to be honest and say, yeah, that's gray. Here's the law that could affect it. Here's what could happen, but it's gray. I actually have a new website I'm rolling out this weekend, because that one is old and simple, but it gets the point across. And yeah, I've just enjoyed it. But my CryptoPunk story is,
we got, because we do have the NFT collector here. All right, I know NFT collector. You don't have a CryptoPunk, is that correct?
I do not, but I do have a Punks comic, which might be fractionalizing art, which now I hear is a kind of a gray area. So I'm interested.
So there we go. He's catching your Deadhead NFT, Deadhead's NFT ear right there. You know, I knew that you've been trying to dig around, just looking in the Discords, personal DMs between each other, just trying to get yourself a CryptoPunk along the ranks. And then all of a sudden, I look, and your avatar changed, and you must be
Yep.
must have been a pretty happy person at that point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing I can say about other, I guess, kind of professionals, whether that's lawyers or accountants or whatever, I think the concern is always that they show up to the NFT space or any other innovative area and just kind of preach at the space instead of getting like in it and understanding it. So I didn't want to just purchase a CryptoPunk for 15 ETH or 20 ETH and just kind of get in. I wanted to make sure I got one from an OG, from a punk, whether it was payment for a project or I helped somebody out with something or whatever. And so I ended up getting it in the best way possible. I thought, working with, I've worked with Justin Aversano on a few things, and thankfully, his Twin Flames project has brought me not only a lot of joy this year, but some returns, as you have had returns, Crypto Novo.
Well, that was all part of it. Is when we were working with Justin before, and I purchased his piece because he really works hard, and he finds the right buyers to match with his pieces, and he's persistent too. And I'll give him that, and I'll definitely give him that. But you know what? Some of the best words of advice is, hey, crypto, you should probably buy this one. There's a 3 and 11 on the back of these guys' jerseys right here. Or hey, Crypto Novo, how about these trippy twins? And next thing you know, I'm selling them and getting them to other people who want them. Sellers remorse a little bit, but you know what? They're finding the right person. But then what you're saying is you get a little bit of liquidity. You can maybe ladder up something that you maybe didn't have before, or pay taxes or whatever you need to do.
Right.
And it's fun. And then now here we are talking about it.
Yeah. And it's all just good vibes around the people around Justin and his project. And so I was considering, I bought one of the blue Twin Flames from his project, and I was like, okay, these don't have an established price point yet. We'll see what happens. I got it for really cheap, just through some stink bids on random wallets, and somebody accepted it. I got lucky. And so I DM'd Anonymix, and Anonymix is the person who bought the Sotheby's twin. So I knew he had a couple of twins. And he's someone that, they, Anonymix, I've DM'd with them before about taxes and a couple other things. And so I was like, hey, have you ever done a high-end trade? Like, have you traded NFTs that were worth 40, 50K or more? I haven't done that. It's kind of sketchy. What do you recommend? And he was like, well, what are you trying to trade? And I was like, well, I've got this blue twin, and I think I might trade it for a punk if the right trade comes up. And he was like, actually, I've got the perfect punk for you. I just got it yesterday. And so he sent me a DM of this punk and was like, I will trade you this punk for your blue twin right now if you want to. Let's just do it now.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there at like 8 a.m. starting my work day, freaking out. I'm so excited. And I mean, he sold it for a 6 ETH gain, a 7 ETH gain before the day was even over. He sold it for 28.80 ETH to 888. So it was just like a perfect day where I got a punk out of it. He got the blue twin, and then 888 bought that blue twin that night. So literally just everyone was happy along the way.
1, 2, 3, just like that. Because I was trying to dig through my wallet when we were talking here, because Anonymix as well lowered the price on one of his Twin Flames, so I could actually do a double buy.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to say it started the bull market for Justin, but I bought 2 of them the 2 floors at 8.77, and then the next one was like right around like 10. That one got pulled off the market, and then it skipped right to 12.5. And then after that, now we're sitting what, 30 now, 25, 30.
I know. Look, I think I love the way that Stray Bits says it about the punks, and then some of the early Bitcoin people. Like, if they hadn't sold when they did or used it when they did, it wouldn't have given it that value it needed to continue laddering,
Correct.
right? So,
Yeah.
so I feel bad when I think about it because I sold a twin on like July 5th for 7 ETH, right? But if I
But
hadn't done that,
you would not have had what CryptoPunk number do you have? What number is your guy?
exactly 2128.
That's a good number too.
Yeah, it's a good one. But that's it. That's the. And look, I was gonna ask you, go look at the transaction history on this punk. I think I might have one of the most well-traveled punks. If you scroll down there,
Oh,
look at how many times it's been moved.
This one's been passed around like you wouldn't believe. They sometimes start with like a word with a W and an H. I don't like to use it too much, but this one has been passed around here. But it shows the history. You know, Humbala, I remember he was someone back in the day. You know, had a huge wallet, sold pretty much all of it off. You know, he sold.
Look at that ape in there.
Yeah, I mean, he sold a lot of this off. But yeah, you can look back of where these things came from, who claimed them back in the day. But yeah, look, here's Dizzy right there. So this one has been well traveled. This one's sneakers has been, but you know, that's what's cool is you see it, someone like this who has had it, who came down in price, was able to get it over to you, just got into his wallet. You know, someone who has bought in 55 punks, sold 42 punks, holding on to 7 of them by themselves. But what a clean punk right here. The dark hair and the earring. That's just pretty sweet.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a good time. It's been a good week.
My question come Halloween time, you're gonna dress up like your CryptoPunk and shave that mohawk in your head and get your ear pierced?
You know, that'd be crazy because NFT NYC is like the next day. So I'll be in New York and that'd be pretty wild to wear a t-shirt with my punk on it or something and just like go for it.
Well, you better be looking in the streets for some big shades like this, a tassel hat and a red clown nose and a hidden earring back here because I'll be in New York City as well.
Nice.
I've been asked to be a speaker at the NFT NYC, and I'll be speaking there on all my friends in the crypto world for sure. So yeah, maybe we can get on the same panel together. That'd be pretty sweet, man.
That'd be fun.
All right, so we have a lot of friends in this room right now. Any questions for each other? I mean, any questions for Jacob and how he got his CryptoPunk, or any questions for Deadheads or Pizza?
I want to know. Yeah, well, I want to know if you're gonna just really hold on to that CryptoPunk. I mean, are you not parting with it? Has it done its last dance?
You know, I'll be honest. I've been looking at and thinking about Axes for a long time. So I actually, if this sells, I listed it at like 10 ETH higher than its last sale. So it's not likely to sell. But if somebody grabbed this for 30 ETH, I'm probably going to pump like 40 or 50 ETH straight into Axes.
Really?
And set up a bunch of scholarships and stuff. I don't know. I've learned a lot in the past few weeks, and like Shiny and some other people who really believe in like the future of work and Axes and G Money and whatnot. Like I'm definitely entering like a bull belief in Axes, and if it makes half as much money as I think it will, I'll just buy more punks on the other side. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But a purple cap. I either need a purple cap punk, a purple wild hair, or a wild hair with a mole, because I actually have a good face mole here. So I definitely need a punk with a mole.
Well, we were talking, that's how we kind of got into this. We were talking with Fran about his purple hair and mole that he had for sale, because I actually own 2 purple hairs as well. So, I mean, here's the realm we're looking at. And we have the floor one right here at 34, man, because one sold earlier for 29. So now the floor is already on purple hair at 34, man. That's crazy. And where is, I think this, is that Franz now? I can't remember which one he had there. But yeah, the purple hair, you know, that could be a prime attribute class, you know, laddering up to something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that like I actually was looking at it before he bought it. Because that, like, I can only do a goatee. I can't grow a beard. It's patchy. Can only do a goatee. I've got a mole. Like the purple hair is a vibe. So I mean, my hair's kind of just up. So something like that right there is ideal. We'll see what
So
happens.
purple hair might be easier for Halloween rather than a mohawk, unless you want to grow your hair
Right.
back.
Right.
And for sure, I had another good one for the laddering up stake, Axis Infinity. Justin Aversano, back in the day, him and I back in the day, but everything goes so fast. I bought a bunch of Axis Infinity land, and I bought a couple.
Nice.
And I bought a couple of. He's like, "Come on, let's battle." So I bought, 3 of the. I kind of went out and just kind of bought some alpha. What do they call them? Creatures.
Mystics or whatever, like mystic alpha, like
No.
expensive ones or no?
Yeah, so they were expensive back then, and back then not expensive was probably like a quarter of an Ethereum, a half of an Ethereum, I think was the range. So I'll have to dive back into it. I know those things have been going bonkers. Just haven't.
Do you still own them?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
I just
Well, then they're worth a lot of money right now.
It's kind of like the Axis Infinity land. Hey, Doc Klein, you know what I wanted to bring up to you and I wanted to show you was
Yes.
what was it? The Gazoo, I believe one of the NFTs that you pointed out to me was I think the floor on that shot up dramatically here. Let's see if I can find it here.
That'd be great.
While you're looking for that, are any of you guys in LA this weekend? I mean, like in a week, because there's the Crypt Gallery with 33 NFT and King of Midtown. It's going to be awesome.
No, Chicago. I know one's the East Coast. I mean, unless you guys are traveling down from Olympia, you guys going to travel down from Olympia possibly?
Sounds like a no.
I don't know. Sorry.
When
where
is
this?
maybe?
I don't know
Yeah,
the
fuck
full
it.
details. I
Sorry.
don't know the full details on getting tickets and stuff.
Yeah, sorry, I've been a little laggy, so it was a little hard to catch that. But yeah, honestly, we've just been working so hard in the sun here and just enjoying being outside. I'm not really sure. Conference, is that what I heard it was? A conference?
No, it's like a gallery. It's like an NFT gallery 2 nights in a row.
Oh,
at the
NFT
Dream,
gallery.
at the Dream Hub.
Oh, that's awesome. In fact, we want to open up one ourselves, actually. But as part of that process, I definitely think we should go see other galleries around NFT galleries. I think that'd be awesome. We've been really inspired by what people in Chicago were doing. I can't remember what their names were. Sorry about that. We were on with them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they're
Closet.
Yeah.
Takoshi's Closet was one is I'm not art and I'm not Matt. They have the physical gallery in Chicago. I was there for opening night. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we should try. We're gonna aspire to. But yeah, if there's a digital option, we'll definitely like drop in on virtually.
We'll see.
If you got a link, drop it in the chat for that event in LA.
Yeah. Hey, Crypto Nova, will you go to King of Midtown's Twitter?
Yeah. What am I diving into here?
I think on King of Midtown's Twitter, he has he just got to LA and he has a posting about what's going on.
All right. Is this his gallery?
Yeah, so it's King of Midtown working with 33 NFT, and then they've actually they've got Lincoln Motors as the primary sponsor, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, there we go, live action right there. So are you gonna be making an appearance there?
Yeah, I'm going as of now. I've got plans to go to dinner on Friday night with Tony Herrera and Daniel and maybe Thomas Canto. So a few of us are going to go to dinner before the event.
That sounds wicked fun. That sounds wicked fun. Good friend. Tony's been on the show plenty of times. We're going down to a physical gallery. We're seeing them more and more. They're not even springing up. I mean, the one in Chicago, they have it there for an entire year. So it's not like they're going to be slowing down anytime soon. I mean, they have brick and mortar for an entire year, and they also have the second year option to bring themselves, into the limelight a little bit more. It's right down from a musical fest called the Riot Fest in Chicago, which is a lot of cool things. Another cool things here. Let's see if we can bring up. We got Benzie Studio. Good friend Doc Klein introduced me to him. I've been chatting with him.
He made it to the Rareable top sellers twice last week, which is great. So proud of that guy.
In the same week. And his stuff is just like totally like NFT. It's just cool stuff.
Yeah, he's really awesome. We talked about him before, but this is his Mahu collection, which is really cool. And Mahus are like this. It's a Hawaiian term for like the third gender, like a spirit gender. And so that's kind of like this theme with this collection is, these interesting vignettes of different characters. And what's interesting about the characters he uses is that they're also all artists. So he really looks to work with other creators and other artists and then expresses them in these like really unique video vignettes, which a lot of them have like audio too. And they're really cool. And so there's been some it does all these really, each one's like pretty unique. So been pretty cool watching this starting to take off. And I believe he also sold his first foundation piece this week as well. So it's been a pretty busy week. Definitely someone to keep your eye on. Good, he's become a friend of ours. We've definitely been chatting, but that's pretty cool stuff. Glad that starting to get picked up. Should see he's LA based right now, so probably see him out there.
Yeah, Jacob, maybe I'll send him the link to the physical museum there, the gallery, and
do it
up there because he's an interesting guy. And like when I talked to him, his brain, and correct me if I'm wrong, JAR token, his brain is he makes this stuff, but we are trying to you're bringing him into the NFT world. So he's been making this cool stuff for a while, but it's finding artists like this and bringing him into the NFT world where you're teaching them the craft.
Yeah, he's definitely established in a more traditional sense, which is pretty cool. It's like, very much like Justin Aversano as being more of a traditional photographer and then leaning into this space, but it's why it's so great for all types of creators. Part of Benzie's work was also putting unique videos into interesting objects and frames, which is makes a lot of sense and and great if you're also a physical art collector wanting to display this pretty neat NFTs. So
yeah, so one of his NFTs that he had, I believe it was this Monday picture right here, where he took it and he put it into like an old school TikTok clock. And he took out like the glass paneling of the clock and the gears of the clock, and he put a digital frame in there, so then you can hang it on the wall. And it would just look wicked cool. I saw the personal pictures of it, and you just send it to me right now. Oh no, that's not it. And it was just so wicked cool.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy to come on the show and take us through it. So maybe that's a good guess for next week. This is pretty cool. And it was, interesting that you just mentioned sponsored by Lincoln Motors. So I saw this come around, which is Campbell's, which I thought was really interesting. So Campbell's Soup partnering with this artist, Sophia Chang, who's pretty cool. But even also interesting is Network as well. So Network's like a traditional drop collectible company. And recently they launched their own NFTs. I think their link is right there. Yeah, NFT.the network. which is pretty awesome. So they're starting to kind of bring their audience who's more into like hype drops and other types of collectibles into the NFT space.
Is this a platform here for selling NFTs? Is that what the NFT?
Well, I actually bought 2 NFTs from them that I saw come out this week, which is pretty cool. They were selling pretty cheap. It was that one with the smiley face. I mean, it was.
Sorry.
So I grabbed 2 of those because they were extremely cheap, but of course they shot up pretty quickly. But very interesting to see that Tuesday is going to be a NFT drop for Campbell's, which is pretty interesting considering they're pretty big in the pop art scene and used inside of NFT art and crypto art. So they're coming out with their official NFT as well, which looks like it's going to be going to Feeding America for a good cause. So always love that stuff, and interesting to see how brands get involved with this NFT space. And Campbell seems like the perfect match considering their history.
Yeah, and you got the Warhol, you got the longevity of it, you got the span of people it reaches, not only in the crypto native world, just in the traditional, home good and food world. And you're going to see more and more. We're seeing more and more of this with major brands hopping the NFT space because it just makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on it. Probably going to snag one, depending on what it is.
Well, historical things like this, you'd be foolish at least not to take a look at those types of things because you never know where they could, evolve and translate into and progress into. Very similar to one of the pieces that you showed off to me a while back that I think we just picked up for like 0.04 Ethereum, right?
Yeah, Kazoo to the moon. Love that.
So we pretty much picked this up for pennies, and look at the cheapest one right now. I'm kicking myself in the butt. Why don't we buy more of these? But there's only what does it show here? 9 orders out of 20 of these. So could pass these around a little bit more, but it's funny. I showed this off to someone from New York, and he's just like, "I've seen that before. I see that all over the place." I'm like, "Yeah, well, the guys just, got to do what they got to do." So, all right, I'm gonna wrap things up here. We've been streaming for about an hour. We'll start with out on the West Coast. All right, we got our 3 on the West Coast. GT, we're going to come back in maybe about 2 weeks here. We'll see what the latest and greatest is. We'll hopefully have some of these micro shelters in the proper hands with the proper people. I love that we have the artists going. You guys have been out there. I've seen, pictures and footage of that farmers market. It looks absolutely beautiful with all the foot traffic that goes through there. So it's reaching a bunch of eyes. Robbie as well, thank you guys for the time and what you guys are doing. I know GT's lagging a lot. Robbie, anything to say for your guys' crew out there?
Yeah, we're just really stoked to get to do this whole thing and get to share it with all of the crypto meta Twitterverse dimensions. And another cool thing that's coming out of it that we didn't mention was we're advertising that we're holding an NFT auction, and a lot of our conversations that we get to have are, what is an NFT? How do I play? So there's a ton of potential there too to hold conversations and instructions and help kind of lure people into the space. Sounds sinister, but you know what I mean? And hopefully just get more people to come play. So it's all really exciting and coming together, and you guys are so helpful, and we're so grateful to be here. So thank you.
Cool people. You got to check out solidarityart.org. The video, there's a beautiful video up on the top, just to get this nonprofit into the right people's hand using digital art, using the NFTs, cryptocurrencies to help, and this could just be a stepping stone for major things to come. That's why I'm a big supporter of it and loving having you guys come on, because it's a simple concept that, the right people hear about it, and you get the right officials within our government wising up and figuring out that, hey, we can do this. All we need is a voice. We'll be that voice for you. So thank you guys for your time in all this. Jacob, congratulations on the punk. Finally, awesome to catch up back up with you again, so you can get the story out there and told. What's new and exciting that's going to be coming up for you?
Well, I definitely just had to ask my wife to get our baby to stop screaming so I could unmute. She's supposed to be asleep, but she's still awake.
Hey, I'm a family man myself. I totally get what goes on. I totally get it.
Yep.
That's why I try to get for me, it's late. My kids just went to bed. I know you're on the left coast, as sometimes people call it. So I appreciate the time that you have in there, being the family man, telling the punk story, helping out people in the space with your knowledge in the space.
For sure. I've had such a good time.
Muted.
You're muted.
Muted.
Combined them.
There we go.
Uh-oh. Did I cut out?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, you're good. We got the wildfires out in the West Coast, making the lag between the satellites. That's why we're having a little bit of lag issues out there.
Oh, damn. That's real talk. And, that's just creating more housing inequity.
That's what it is. We're seeing it out here in Chicago. We got the glaze over our skies, and we're hundreds of miles away from you. I mean,
can you hear me now?
Perfect. Take it away.
All right. I was just saying, I've been around for a while, but finally everything's just kind of coalesced, and all my interests and friends are all kind of in the same place. So I don't know exactly what's next, but a lot of little things on the horizon and a few big ones. So it's exciting.
The little things add up to the big things. The big things add up to the big picture. What I'm finding out right now is work is not feeling like work because it just goes by so fast, and I'm with people I enjoy. So I don't know if I have to redefine it or not, but I'll keep plugging away at this NFT space. Thank you for your time. And we're going to catch up soon. If not, we'll be out in New York before we know it. JRR Token again, man, coming through with some major stuff, from End of the World Pizza, to the Gazoos a couple weeks back, to, all these wonderful things. I'm seeing a surge in the NFT space, and I've been tracking it since the CryptoPunks. You know how it is with me, but man, we have a lot of cool things coming up.
There's so many cool things. The avatar stuff we've been dabbling with this weekend is crazy. I think it's gonna blow everyone's mind when they get a glimpse of that. But
right.
yeah, a lot of fun stuff happening. Even Zed Run. I know it's been a bit since we did some live races. They're so busy to time, but even Zed Run had a huge update. They got major investment round of $20 million, so they ain't going anywhere except up. And a lot of projects are just like really taken off. Yeah, look at that wait line, 15 hours.
I had that in a tweet earlier, like, oh, we're gonna do some Zed Run, and I'm like, no, we're not gonna wait 16 hours for it. So I have something to do tomorrow. That will be noon. So like lunchtime tomorrow. No, that'll be like dinner time tomorrow.
Yeah, basically, you got plenty of time, and let's hope. Is this a new horse, or are we still coming in 6th, 7th year?
Yeah, you're right. 6th, 7th. You're right.
Hey, we should know what we should do. We should check up on the offspring that you had and see how they're doing, and see if we could actually breed some winnings out of young Secretariat.
We'll catch up with Beskar. We'll get some horse racing preloaded. Maybe we'll find a day that maybe I'll just put my horse out to the pasture to breed and not race him. Watch your ponies race. But it was fun, and the money I actually made off of breeding with the horse, I went in and I think one of these is like a $25 race. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna break the streak here. I'm gonna hopefully win.
I hope so.
Something that's a 3-figure win, and because I'm due for one, just to bring my win-loss back to even, I guess.
Yeah. We got to get that ROI up. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out. Good big projects. Campbell's Tuesday, I'm going to check that out. That's going to be a pretty significant pop art piece. So I'm going to grab one of those. And maybe next week we'll have Benzie on, get some live looks at his physical frame content and some of the new pieces he's working on, maybe.
Yeah, we got to get Benzie on. Those are really neat. All right. So neat, cool things coming up this week. Thanks again for your wealth of knowledge in this space. Helps me stay in the loop of what the heck is happening, because there's so much of it out there. And that's it. It's Sunday night. You guys we're all going to have a fast work week, because I know what's on my mind. It's going to be these NFTs. But stay positive and love life. Peace.
See ya.